With that, no hands up. I will ask for a vote. So those in favor of approving the minutes with the sign of aye.
Aye.
Those against with nay. All right, passes unanimously. We will walk into the informational items. The first one is our county clerk, Ms. Parker. So she did give us information in the packet, and welcome, Rachel.
Yes, I think you all have all the information, the transaction count report that you normally get every meeting. And in addition to that, this time we included a second quarter update of just some more details of, give you more insight on some of the work that goes on in our department. There's a few items that are highlighted there. I think the most important is on the back side of that two-page document where it talks about some of the state laws that affect our department directly. Again, it's just for information for you all, just to let you know of some other items that we do in the office besides just the collection transaction report.
Well, thank you for providing that. Gives us some additional insight of activities going on and changes, both from quarterly and some of the laws and how it affects your departments.
Mm-hmm. Also, the official services directory, this nice little brochure here, we are updating it. It's just about completed. We just have to get a new cover and kind of go over a few more of the details, and then that will be out shortly as well. And we'll have that for everybody to pass out in their, different departments and offices, wherever they want to share that information.
Is that also available online?
It is. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yes, it is.
Great. Okay. Any questions from the committee members? It's not that late on Monday, is it? Everybody's so quiet. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move into the next update, and the next one is the County Election Commission, Mr. Bride, and so welcome, Tom.
Hello. I don't have much of a report. I did include the correspondence for the grant that we had. That goes back to all the correspondence all the way back to last, I believe, September or early October. The only real update I had is, since it's been a while, we did have some election-related legislation that passed. One of them, the board, I believe, is aware of it. The primary next year has been moved from March to June 28th. That's one component. The biggest effect we had, and the rest of the bill is the creation of a permanent vote by mail status. It'll allow a voter to sign up for a vote by mail ballot for each instead of having to do it each election. They'll sign up once for ongoing elections. They can do both. They don't have to do permanent, but there'll be there's some mailing requirements that we'll have to do next year, but that's probably the biggest change in the election side, is that permanent vote by mail, besides the moving of the primary. The other thing that primary did is when they moved the primary, they changed, obviously they changed all the dates related to that primary for filing and those kind of things. We don't have official copies of, we don't have official dates on that, but they will all be moved. Nothing really starts till after the 1st of January.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bride. Any questions from the committee? Okay. Well, thank you for including the additional communication. That was one of the things that I asked Mr. Bride to add. Just, again, being transparent on that grant that we received, and I know you finished up that report as part of the packet of where the funds were expended and such. So I assume we've met our commitment, right, to the grant writer or the grant provider of reporting back, closing that out.
That was the final report was submitted the first week of July, I believe. So it's or maybe the second week. Yeah. So we've done everything we've had to do for that grant. So.
Okay. So that closes that out for the purpose of the grant and reporting and such.
Yeah, everything's done.
Okay. All right. One last chance, any questions? Well, we all good? Thank you. All right, we will move to Supervisor of Assessments. Welcome, Dave.
Hey, thank you. Not too much. We're working on the 2021 assessments. Hopefully those will be finished in about a month, within a month, so we'll have that information out. We're slowly starting to see some recovery in some of the townships in what's selling for and what we've got. As a reminder, we're on a 3-year average, so if anybody is looking at what's happening within the last several months, that's not going to be reflected until next year because the prices are, things are selling quite high and quite quickly. So you'll start to see that as we go forward. But also we have talked about House Bill 3289 for months about automatic renewal of those exemptions. That was just signed officially into law on Friday. So we went ahead and held off and did not send those renewals out, so we did save a little bit of money doing that and a lot of time. So that will be automatically renewed again like it was last year for people that received it in 2020. So that's some good news, and other than that, that's all we got.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Ryan? On the exemptions, just to be clear on it, or is it for all the exemptions, such as veterans and homestead, or which
It's
exemptions?
ones for what we did last year for the people that were at, because of COVID, were at the highest risk. So it was ones that you have to file each year. So it was the disabled persons exemption, the disabled veterans exemption, and the senior freeze exemption. It's those 3 exemptions that were done. Most of the other ones you don't have to refile each year, you just file once. So, but it was mainly for the seniors and anybody with disabilities, so we had those automatically renewed again. Hopefully, actually, this will be the last year that we'll have to do that. So.
Okay. Oh, great. Is there any communication that needs to be sent out to the general public on awareness of that, or how do you let them know?
We've got it now on our front page of our website. Unfortunately, it took so long for this to be done. I would gather most people have already asked and said, hey, so we're just looking at some now, but we've kind of been communicating that this was going to be what was going to happen, but we couldn't do anything official, so we had people just keep watch. But typically we would send those renewal notices out in January or February, and then once tax bills go out, a lot of people will come in if they forgot to file or something and ask questions. So those have already passed. I think there's only a few counties that actually didn't even send out renewal notices, and we were one of them. Us and some others up north. Some of the other ones just went ahead and did it like they do each year, but we decided to hold off on that. So.
Okay, and it worked out well this time.
Yeah, we kind of rolled the dice and it worked out well with that. So.
Okay. No, thanks for that additional information. One last chance for the committee? Any questions on? All right. Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
Yep.
We'll move to the treasurer, Ms. Bjorky. She's always looking after our money and our funds.
I just wanted to update you on the distributions. We've done 2 so far, and we're set to distribute about $324 million. With the second distribution, I've distributed $173 million, of which Peoria County got $14.8 million. The next distribution is August 10th, and that one will be a relatively small distribution. The biggest one is the June distribution after the first installment due date. We got our catalogs today for the trustee auction. That will take place August 27th, I believe. The minimum bid is $817. It is a sealed bid again, so we are expecting numerous bids on trustee-owned properties. We've already had people coming in for about a month now to receive or try and buy that book, but we do have it available now for $20 in our office, or you can go onto the trustee website and purchase it there too. I lost a longtime staff member this month. Good news is I have hired somebody and she starts next week, so that's good. So we'll be up to full strength next week as far as number of people. We just need to get her up and trained, and she's good to go. So any questions or anything?
Any questions from the committee? So what's the next tax submission day? Remind people?
September 8th. is the
Right.
second installment due date. And then about August or October 12th or 13th, I don't have my calendar in front of me, we'll be sending out delinquent notices, and then our tax sale is November 8th.
Okay. Any general idea how much was paid in full in the first installment? What percentage per se of,
It usually runs about 35%,
okay,
pay the full thing. And then obviously, anytime anybody escrows, it's only half and half.
sure. All right, well, thank you. And we will now move to our Veterans Assistance Commission. Mr. Brooks, welcome. Glad to see you here, sir.
Thanks, sir. I apologize I didn't send in the report. I know nobody feels sorry for me. I just returned from Cancun, so I know I apologize. But so anyway, so we have 451 active VA claims waiting on decision, 149 appeals, which are moving rather quickly. They're probably on April's right now, and that's fairly good for the federal government. So we have 600 active VA claims. We brought in 3.946 million in new money. Last month we had two significant back pays, one for 75,000 and then 65,000 for veterans. $75,000 is a lot of money for any veteran, but this one just happened to be staying at the homeless shelter, so $75,000 was a huge, which it went all the way back to 2015. So we call it clear and unmistakable error, where the VA screwed up from the very beginning, and then we went back and fixed it. I love telling the VA they're wrong. It was just fun. So I just wanted to point that one out. Can't get a hold of the person, but did get paid. Total money that we brought in up till today is just over $23 million. Walk-in Wednesday is officially coming back September 29th of 21, and it starts at 10 a.m. I'll get a flyer done. I would have done it in August, but I will be out of the office that week, so I made it September, so it wouldn't all fall on my staff. Dave did his report. I want to compliment his office with the disabled veterans property taxes. His staff has been absolutely amazing dealing with my staff. I know some counties have problems working together, and his staff has been absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to compliment Dave for his staff and hard work. That's all I've got, though.
Oh, good. No, thanks for the teamwork on that, Dave, and working together as, Peoria County, taking care of the veterans and our citizens. Any questions for Mr. Brooks on VAC? All right. Well, thank you for the update, and I hope you're all rested and relaxed after your vacation. All right. We'll move into committee action. The first item is to review the executive session minutes, and I will ask council to give the description of that for us. Oh yeah, go ahead and just.
I was going to say it's the recommendation of the state's attorney's office that all previously held minutes continue to be held, as the need for confidentiality still exists, and to destroy executive session audio recordings more than 2 years old, except those that relate to pending litigation.
Okay, so I need a motion. Mr. Salzer is the first, and Dr. Blair is the second. Any questions regarding that recommendation? It's pretty much cut and dry, right?
Yes.
You got the easy job over here.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. We haven't asked for a tough one, so we'll work on it. All right, all of those in favor at the sign of aye? Aye. Those against with the sign of nay? All right, passes unanimously. All right, we have one resolution, our typical monthly delinquent taxes. So it was in the packet. I need a motion to put that on the floor. All right, Ms. Rutherford first and Dr. Blair second. Any questions on the items that were listed? No questions. We'll ask for a vote. So all in favor of approval with the sign of aye?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed with the sign of nay? All right, that passes. All right, now we're down to miscellaneous. Anything miscellaneous for the good of the committee? All good and quiet? All right. Well, with nothing else for that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon.